Well, should we introduce ourselves quickly now before the meeting kicks off? I'm Patrick. I'm the president of a charity. You'll probably be hearing from me today a little bit. Anyone else on the board or a manager want to introduce himself?
Good morning, everyone. I'm John Loof. So I'm on the board with Patrick. I've been on the board for about 3 years now.
Everyone, I'm Kate. I'm on the board as well. I've been on the board for about 4 years, I think. Maybe longer than that, actually, maybe 4.5 years now. So welcome.
Kia ora. My name's Ness Atkinson. I'm the general manager. I've been here for about a year.
Morning, my name's Steve. Excuse the croaky voice, I've got COVID, so morning, I'm on the board as well.
Thanks, Lisa. I'm Bona. I've just been appointed to the board, haven't yet been to a board meeting, but very pleased to be here.
We're pleased to have you. And Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I am new to the board as well. You may have also seen me in the long COVID circles, so I'm over there as well. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Lisa. Now, I think we can probably kick off. How are you for minute taking, Lisa? You're ready? Done. Fantastic. I'm Patrick. I'm a president of our charity, and I'd like to warmly welcome you to our 11th annual general meeting. I see that a quorum is present, so I declare the meeting open at 11:03 a.m. by my clock. Let me start. I'll kick off with a little bit of background. ME Support is a local charity that helps people with ME CFS and long COVID live their best possible lives. We ultimately exist to serve our members, so we hold an annual meeting to highlight what we've been doing for you over the last year. Usually we invite a guest speaker to these meetings to present on a relevant topic, usually medical and illness management. However, it's been a busy period for our charity, and we've remained focused on operational improvements that will position the charity to grow and ultimately reach much more people in the future. So we made a decision to run a lower touch AGM this year, which is why our attendance is a little bit smaller. And that means no guest speaker for today. But what we'll do is we'll focus on the official business of our charity, which is required by our constitution, as well as provide a little bit of an update from our general manager, Ness. To kick off, though, I'll start with a little bit of background information about us and our charity. The whole meeting I'm envisaging it shouldn't take more than 30 to 45 minutes, and afterwards we'd be delighted to answer any questions that you may have. So, kicking off. Our charity was born 11 years ago to provide vital services and support to people affected by ME CFS. Today, we're a team of 7 part-time staff, 8 board members, and around 20 volunteers, all working remotely to help people with ME CFS and long COVID in our community. Together, our team serves around 300 people through direct support services in Auckland and thousands nationally for our online resources, such as a Facebook page. In the future, research and awareness will hold the answers to ME CFS and long COVID. But until then, people affected by these illnesses, they need help today. This is a space that our charity operates in. We provide assistance to people who need it now and cannot wait for a cure and cannot wait for widespread recognition of these illnesses. We find our clients usually want at least one of 3 things. They want help accessing income, food, housing, home support, so that their basic needs are met. They want information on managing illness to support them towards better health. And they want companionship and community, so they're not alone in a journey. These 3 things are in essence what our charity provides. But overall, I like to think of our charity as a place of refuge. In a world that doesn't always recognize or support people with ME CFS and long COVID, we're a place that you can come to be understood. We're here, we believe you, and we're here to help. We're a small charity today, but we're building the foundations for a much bigger future. Personally, I'd love to see a future where one of 3 things happens, or all of 3 things, I should say. Number 1, healthcare professionals are knowledgeable and empathetic towards ME CFS and long COVID. These illnesses are diagnosed quickly, patients get the best possible interventions, and are treated with dignity, belief, and respect. Number two, I'd love to see a future where those around people with ME/CFS and long COVID don't stigmatize them as being either lazy or crazy, but admire them for their bravery in battling a very real chronic illness every day. And number three, I'd like to see a future where people with ME/CFS and long COVID don't have to worry about how they'll pay their rent or where their next meal will come from, where they're free to focus on managing their health and spending those precious energy dollars on things that help him live a fulfilling life, rather than just focusing on survival. We have a long way to realize this vision, but I'd like to thank the team who works tirelessly towards it every day. There are so many people to thank right now, and it breaks my heart not to be able to thank them all by name. We'd be here till about 4 p.m. if I did, but I'm looking forward to acknowledging them each personally before the holiday season. Until then, I'd like to say a huge heartfelt thank you to our client support coordinator, Natalie, and our general manager, Ness, for their tremendous commitment to our charity. I really don't know where to start when thanking both of them, but so I'll just say that many people's lives are much better off because of their tireless commitment, and I really don't know where the community would be without you both. So thank you very much. It's been a year of consolidation for our charity, and we've realized that to grow and to meet the needs of a community, we first have to retrench and build a stronger foundation to support that growth. So with that said, I'll pass on to our general manager, Ness, who'll provide a bit of an operations update.
Thanks, Patrick. I thought I might just start sharing with you a testimonial that one of many, I might say, that comes from one of the many clients that we work with and we support each year. And I just feel like this is a really good summary of how the work that we do can really make a difference for someone. So I'm just going to read this out to you. ME Support has been an invaluable support service to me since I was diagnosed with ME/CFS. They've been helpful to me in many crucial ways, providing support groups, information resources, seminars, and talks by leading experts, and most importantly, being available to individual members through their caring and helpful team of client support coordinators, which mine has been a true lifeline. She's been a listening ear and an assurance that I'm not alone in this experience. ME/CFS is a cruel and difficult condition to live with, and the work of ME Support is vital, especially in a society where ME/CFS is not always recognised as genuine and sufferers face great barriers to success. I would not have managed to overcome many of the challenges and obstacles I've faced since my diagnosis if it had not been for the support of my client support coordinator and ME Support. I'm extremely grateful. Now, I could have read out hundreds of testimonials like this from our clients, but I think I just wanted to give you a little indication of some of the value of the work that we do and the real difference that we're making to our clients' lives and to our community's lives. And obviously, as Patrick said, we want to be able to expand that. And this year, I guess, has presented some challenges for us. And I think we're at a bit of a point of change in the organisation, as Patrick has alluded to. I think being here for over 10 years now, as an organisation, we continue to grow in terms of demand. We're over 1,300 members and growing every week. And that's a tiny fraction of the potential demand out there. So we know we've got a lot of work to do, and we want to be able to rise to meet that challenge. So as you're aware, those of you who've been with us for a little while, at the start of this year, one of our client coordinators left, Jane Fleming, which has left us the very capable hands of Natalie Newell, our existing and long-standing client support coordinator, who continues to do amazing work for our community. But this has put a lot of pressure on Natalie and has reduced our capacity to meet the demands of our clients to the extent that we would like to. What this has really highlighted for us, I think, is that the demands and the needs of our community really far outstrips the capacity of our organisation to meet everyone's needs in the fullest way that we would like to be able to. And ultimately, we want to be able to be here for the long haul, to be a sustainable organisation that can keep going and be here for our community into the future. So in order to do that, we have realised that we do need to make some changes. So this year, our focus has really changed from the solution being one of just growing our capacity to focusing on making changes to how we work. And that means things like improving our systems and our offering to make sure that we're able to support as many of our clients to the fullest possibility that we can within the resources that we have, which I'm sure you can understand, being a charity, limited, and particularly in these challenging economic times. So while this might not seem terribly exciting work to a lot of you, it's obviously thrilling for myself and the board, and really kind of gets us excited and up and out of bed in the morning. But it is really essential. I can't emphasize that enough, that we need to improve the way we work to make our organisation sustainable. So to grow, we really need to focus on our base, and this will give us a strong foundation to work with and grow into the future. So just to give you a bit of an overview, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but just to give you an overview of what we're talking about. So we're looking at the scope of services that we offer and how we deliver those to make sure that we deliver them in the most effective and the most efficient way that we can. We're looking at new systems and processes to make a workload for our frontline staff more manageable. And one of the aspects that we're looking at is around our advocacy offering. We know that this is unique in the sector, and it's a highly valued service by our clients, and it can make a really big difference to people's lives. But it is also one that takes a lot of our resources in order to deliver, which on a small organisation with limited resources is a challenge. So we're looking to make some improvements to this service and sort of create an advocacy program in which we'll really be able to identify and prioritise the highest needs clients, or the clients with whom we feel that we can make the biggest difference. And we want to be able to match that with our capacity and the resources in our organisation to do that. So we're in the process of developing these changes at the moment, and we will be beginning to trial them soon. And at that point, we will share with you more details about what this means. Some of the other things that we're looking at are, again, kind of quite internal, I guess, or they might seem, but are also really fundamental to how we work. Looking at how we manage our data, how we report, looking at improving and strengthening our recruitment and retention strategies so that we can find and hang on to the best talent that we can to grow our organisation. And we're looking at also ways to expand and support fundraising initiatives. So that's it in a nutshell. But I guess this phase is really about building a strong foundation to ready us to grow and expand our capacity and meet more demand in the future and build our community.
Fantastic, Vicky, Ness. There's a nice articulate update. John, did you want to talk for a couple of minutes about our member outreach?
Yeah, kia ora. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Patrick. First, I want to acknowledge everyone for giving up some time on a Saturday morning. I won't take up a lot of your time, but I do want to talk about something that's very important. And just following on from this, I mean, obviously, the demand for what we're doing is increasing, and we have some limits into the capacity and the amount of service that we can deliver. So, really, what I want to talk about briefly is just how perhaps you can help us expand what we do, and you can help our organisation grow. We need to find new ways of generating funds and generating support. So I've got a confession to make. I don't like rejection. I don't like cold calling. I don't think any of us does. And so what we're really looking for are some contacts, some leads, people that we can approach, the people we can talk to, that you might know, and you can help us reach those people in order to grow the services that we provide. Not so long ago, I was doing some work for another organisation, and one of our clients, it turned out that her husband was on the committee of the local golf course. So we sort of came up with a bit of an idea, and we spoke to that gentleman. And to cut a long story short, we were able to organise a fundraising golf day, which was very successful. It wouldn't have been possible without that introduction and without the support of our clients. So I guess that's just sort of one example. And what we're really asking today is perhaps you can have a think about, is there someone in your networks, possibly a family member or someone you know in your neighbourhood or at work or wherever it might be, that you think we could talk to, someone that might be able to help us grow our organisation. So I'll give you a couple of examples. It could be you or someone you know has a business or a hobby. Perhaps you make a product that we could use in terms of a fundraising activity or a promotional or a recognition gift. It could be someone who has a profile that could be leveraged in an awareness or a fundraising campaign. Perhaps someone who has the means financially to underwrite some of our work or donate a prize for a fundraising activity. Someone immersed in the world of golf, as I talked about, or motor racing or cycling or whatever it might be. There are many events. There's things like the Auckland Marathon, or in a couple of weeks there's the Round Taupo cycling race. These are very well proven and very successful events that teams can be entered into, and we can generate some much needed funds as a result. So perhaps just sort of asking for us all to put our thinking caps on. How would it feel if you were able to come up with a name or a contact for us and help us expand our services? I think that would be wonderful if you were able to do that. So perhaps that's really all I wanted to say. Let's all have a bit of a think, and if there is someone that you believe we could talk to who might be able to help us with goods or services, or just help us with our fundraising and revenue activities, then please get in touch, perhaps initially with Ness or perhaps Patrick or even myself. All our contact details are on the website. And if you can help us, that would be hugely appreciated.
Thanks, John. Really nicely said. For context, for some people online, we're funded predominantly by grant applications. So probably about 95, 97% of our total income is from grants. Grants are wonderful, and you can spend 4 hours doing an application and get about $5,000 or $10,000 in return, which is a really good return on time. But grant money is use it or lose it. So unless we spend all the grant money by the end of the year, we have to give it back. So essentially every year we start with a much lower bank balance because we can't hold any reserves, and that affects sort of resilience of a service. It'd be nice to have a bit of what we call untagged funds, so money from these great activities that John described in our bank account, so that we start the year with a bit of a buffer, so we're more resilient and can continue providing these services and much further into the future. So I did promise a short meeting, and it looks like we are going to deliver. I mean, this brings us to a final bit of it, which is the formal part of a meeting. So our constitution mandates that we vote on a few things at our annual general meeting. How this works is I put forward what's called a motion. I say, I move that we do X. Somebody else seconds that motion, and then a little poll will pop up on Zoom asking if you want to vote in favor or vote against it, at which point you can cast your vote. So, Michelle, are we all ready for Zoom polls? Is that all set up and working all good?
Yes, ready.
And in response to Barbara's question, yeah, a donation through Will would be fantastic. A lot of charities have bequest programs. That's something that we still need to set up. And yeah, that would be absolutely useful if something that people wanted to consider. Anyway, motion number one. No, before I dive into motions, actually, we called for proxies. We received one proxy, which will be counted in the voting. And motion number one, I move that the minutes of last year's AGM, held 11th of November 2023, be adopted as a true and correct record of that meeting. Do I have a second?
Yep.
Yep, second, Kate. For voting, all in favour? Let's see. Oh no, we're waiting for a poll, aren't we? Sorry.
I see.
I lie. So vote yes or no. I like our yes is in capital letters and no is in lowercase. That's not an attempt to sway the vote of a meeting.
Sorry.
Probably should put them in the same case in future. Cool. And Michelle, can you see when it's rolling in, or should we just give it 10 seconds?
Yep. We have 14 yeses, so we can probably call it at that.
Yeah, let's call it a that. That sounds good. Motion number 2, the audited annual performance report of ME Support for year ended 30th of June 2024 be received. Do I have a second to that motion?
Yep, do me again.
Okay, it's okay. And the voting should pop up on your screen soon. Cool, and finally, our constitution requires us to re-elect the directors of ME Support at our board meeting. The treasurer and secretary positions are appointed by the board, so there's no votes needed for re-elections on those ones, but anybody else requires a vote to be re-elected. We put out a call for nominations for board members. It didn't receive any. Earlier this year, I received an expression of interest for a treasurer position, which we'll follow up on separately. So I move that Dr. Mona Jeffries be reappointed as a board member of ME Support. Do I have a second?
Well, that's our second.
Oh, Lisa this time. I was expecting Kate.
Yeah, sorry.
And here we are voting on the screen. Cool, and I move that Steve Schroeder be reappointed as the director of ME Support. Do I have a second?
Yep.
Yep.
Kate.
Kate. And Natalie, you had your hands up. Were you seconding? Or did you want to ask a
Yes, I
question?
was. Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Kate beats you to it. And I move that Kelly Broadbent be re-elected as director of ME Support. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Second, John. And voting should pop up soon. Fantastic. We're getting into a rhythm here. There's only 3 more to go. And I move that John Loof, handsome fella currently on your screen, is re-elected as director of ME Support. Do we have a second?
Yep.
Yes.
Second. I think Steve put his hand up. I'm going to take that as a second. We'll say second Steve on this one. And I move that Kate Duda, also who happens to be on your screen, be re-elected as Vice President of ME Support. Do I have a second? Second, Natalie and John all at the same time. I'll take it as Natalie's. And voting on your screen. And finally, does anyone want to move that I be re-elected? I probably shouldn't move for my own re-election. Barbara, okay. Would you like to say your words, Barbara, or shall I just take the hand up as said?
I definitely move that you stay on.
It's very, very kind of you. Hopefully I have a second.
Yep.
Second, Kate. Vote in favour. I think I'll vote yes for that one. Done. So that concludes the formal business of our meeting. I'm sorry it is a bit of a short and sweet one. But thank you so much all who made the time today to turn up and contribute to the charity and show their interest in our organisation and what it is we're up to. We've recorded a session, so we'll also post a video on our Facebook page, I imagine, so others who couldn't make it today can see what we've been doing. And yeah, I suppose before I call it to a close, is there any questions from anybody? And thank you, Alison, for a kind comment in the chat. It's our pleasure to help. Yeah, if anyone has any questions about charity or any work we're doing or anything on their mind, I'm more than happy to answer. I'll give it a 7-second rule as is customary on his online meetings. I'll give it 7 seconds and we'll call the meeting closed if there's no questions. Okay, cool. I think we can call the meeting closed at 11:26 a.m. by my clock. Shortest and sweetest ever annual general meeting. Thank you all. It was wonderful seeing you.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you,
Thanks all.
Patrick. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.